Hello, my friend. My name is Petrovick, and today I want to share with you 10 tips for building a solid business. Now, these are just some words of wisdom that I've learned over the past 18 years from working from home. They're designed to help you build a successful business. Well, tip number one is keep the main thing the main thing. Spend 80% of your time doing the things that are most important for you to grow your business. What are they? They're recruiting new people. They are retailing products, and then basically teaching people to do step one and step two, recruiting and retailing. I pretty much have always focused on leading with the opportunity. You can lead with the opportunity or the product, doesn't really matter. But keep the main thing the main thing. Don't get distracted, which is what most people do. Tip number two, don't take on negative energy. You absolutely need to learn to protect yourself from people who are toxic. You almost need to put a wall or a barrier. In coaching, we call it a boundary to protect yourself from negative people. A great and simple way to do that as well is, don't read anything or watch anything negative. That means the TV, the newspaper, Google News, or wherever the media really creates sensational news by this disaster, that disaster, whatever's going on. Don't go there. Focus on your own personal development and growth. The positive stuff, okay? Don't criticize, condemn, or complain to anybody or anything about anybody or anything. Come from a positive place. Get known as the person who is positive, always has a good attitude. That's why you hear me say at the close of everything, you have a choice, make it a better than terrific day. Not too many people do that and come from that place. I encourage you to use that. Take that expression. You'll have fun with it. People are surprised by that expression. Tip number three, don't let other people's problems become yours. Understand that negative people, sometimes they just feed off themselves. They just love it. And it's because they don't focus on their own personal development. They're more about the drama, and I don't know about you, but I do not like hanging around drama queens, male or female. It's not much fun. And a lot of times people get into that drama, that negative state, that stinking thinking state, as Zig Ziglar says, is because they're not succeeding. They're quitting too soon. They see a barrier in front of them. They see it as a roadblock, while other people will see it as a hurdle, and they'll jump over that roadblock. You get to decide if it's something that's going to slow you down, stop you, or you're going to figure out how to solve that problem. And that's tip number four. Be a winning example. Set the stage for other people. Be the example for other people. For the longest time, I had a little post-it note on my desk that said, I'm the example for other people to follow. Because don't you know, when other people are watching you, you just show up differently? Same is true here. Be the winning example. Exercise your body and your mind daily. Show other people that taking care of yourself by exercising your body and mind and the nutrition that you put into your body is important to you because you care about yourself. I believe, being a leader is about being the example. And to me, strong leaders, they don't gossip. They don't talk about people. They walk their talk. They speak the truth in a kind way, a direct way, sometimes a bold way. I'll ask people sometimes when I'm coaching them, can I be direct with you? And they usually say, yeah, sure. And then I tell them whatever it is that I believe they need to hear. But I also try to inspire them at the same time. Tip number six, have your life priorities in order. One of the books I'm reading right now is called The Charge by Brendan Burchard. Fantastic book. You can actually purchase it off of Success Magazine. You can go to thechargebook.com/free, I believe, and you can get it for free. Phenomenal book. Teaches you the 10 human drives that make you feel alive. This is just one book that I've read. I mean, I'm sure you've read a lot of books, otherwise you wouldn't be watching up to tip number 6. Get that book. It's free. It's a phenomenal book. You can buy it too if you want. Journal daily, just write down your thoughts. Don't judge yourself, just write. You'll feel at a much higher level. Reflect, meditate, or pray every single day. Just know that, you are here for a very, very special reason. You may not realize it, but you really are. Tip number 7 is really to believe in yourself, and whatever that reason is, know your core values. Don't chase the easy things that in life. Sometimes there's this magic pill that help you lose 50 pounds and not exercise, not have to change your diet. Well, you know what? That's not going to last. Don't chase income opportunities that you don't have to work. People do that. They're looking for an easy way out. Don't do that. It doesn't make any sense. Know that good things don't normally come easy for most people. They never have for me. We want them to, but most of them don't. You have to work, and you know what? That's, whatever value you bring to the marketplace is what you're going to get compensated typically. Say to yourself every day, if it's going to be, it's up to me. I say that all the time. And another one I say is, I can and I will fill in the blank. I can and I will be fit. I can and I will make my income goals. I can and I will. I can and I will. Believe in yourself, my friend. You can do this. Work hard, Probably doesn't have to be said, but you know what? It should be said. Working hard can do a lot of things. It makes you feel good. It exercises your body and your mind. It can make up for mistakes and lack of skills. A lot of times I may not be as effective as some people are in their marketing, but what I make up in my effort, if you will, I make up, and I can a lot of times I can reach goals, incentives at a higher and faster pace than most people. Why? Because I'm willing to work hard. Run your business in 90-day increments. Try to have a 90-day action plan for yourself. So you have 4 90-day action plans for a year, and each 90 days broken down into 30 days. Each 30 days broken down into 4 7-day periods. And then look at each week, every day. And that's, we talked about the reflection of your life and in your business and journaling, what's working, what's not working. Always be prospecting. If you want to track something, and we can, we talked at the very beginning, step number 1, 80% of your time, track the things that make the biggest difference. Number of people who see your presentation every single day. Track that. Everything else doesn't really matter, because at the end of the day, it's about the number of people you recruit and number of products that you sell. Kind of makes sense? Thought so. Tip number 9, contact someone every day and thank them, congratulate them, or just inspire them in some way. Write a handwritten note to a partner or a friend. I'll tell you, I got this tip from Bob Berg, and I have this little card. It's got my picture there, it's got my address, contact information, and one of my websites, and I often write hand notes on this thing. Doing something like that and sending that in the mail with an ink pen is a rarity today. So do the little things that make a big difference. When you talk to people, ask them, how you doing? Really, how you really doing? And listen to them, get them. Show appreciation for people that have helped you in the past that are helping you today. Show appreciation for people who are challenging you on your stuff, because if you go into that with an open mind, you'll probably come out a better person. And tip number 10 is probably the most important, is develop your listening skills. Learn to stay present in your conversations. In this short video, are you checking your iPhone or your BlackBerry? Are you checking text messages? Are you distracted by other things? When you're talking to people, stay focused on the conversation that you're really having. And don't prejudge people, even though you might have a different belief than they. We can agree to disagree on lots of things and still be great friends and have a great time and become very, very successful. And don't offer advice to other people unless you ask. It's kind of a funny thing between men and women. My wife is telling me things all the time, and I go into solve problem mode all the time, and it gets me in so much trouble. She said, I just want to tell you. Well, I hear that, and I think immediately, how do I solve this problem? Well, I try not to do that. I'm in process, and I know you are as well. So I hope those 10 things, those 10 tips, if you will help you build a profitable business, a solid business, and a happier you. Because at the end of the day, that's really what it's all about. How happy are you with who you are and where you're going? My name is Petrovick. Leave me a comment below. Let me know what you think of this. You have a choice. Make it a better than terrific day and a prosperous one, because you, my friend, absolutely deserve it. Until next time.